Well, congratulations to Leandro Trossard has been rewarded by the fans of Arsenal, and they've voted him as the Arsenal Player of the Month of March. Welcome to Rokani Media Football. How are you guys, and where you watching us from? I'm late to come here because I had to do that match reaction of Manchester United. United has gone ahead to win Brentford by 1-0 after spending 3 games without a win. You get 2 losses and 1 draw. Finally, United have registered a win again, but it's really good to see that we're back to winning ways. But if you want to know how we reacted that game, go on to what we call the United Matters channel. But here we are discussing Arsenal, and welcome to the Arsenal News Show. We are discussing Reiss Nelson contract talks have really gone ahead to advance, and it looks like they're nearing fruition. That's it. That's where they've reached. And lastly, Keane, the former captain and legend of Manchester United, has gone ahead and really given Arsenal a lead onto the trophy of the Premier League this season. Smash the like button, comment and share. Don't forget to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. Now, Leandro Trossard has been named today as the Arsenal Player for the month of March, and he has really gathered an amazing 39% of the total votes that come out by the fans of United. Bukayo Saka finished second, and Gabriel Martinelli finished third. You know, Trossard made 5 appearances in the match of March, and guess what? He managed to register 5 assists into those entire games, and obviously he is really one of those that has really gone ahead to really perform very, very well in those games. I think they beat there was a beating of I think there was Everton, there was Crystal Palace, there was which other team? There was Fulham when he returned. So he really looked great and sharp. That is Leandro Trossard for a side which goes by names of Arsenal. And obviously he came in through and obviously did the needful, and he has gone ahead to become the other different player that's gone ahead to win this award of the month. Remember, the first player to win it this season was Gabriel Jesus, then Granit Xhaka for September, then Ben White October. Granit Xhaka won it in September and October. Ben White and Bukayo Saka November and January. So that means Ben White was for November and Bukayo Saka was for January. Zinchenko picked up the prize for the month of February, and we brought it here very well. So seeing Trossard really getting all this, I really feel better for him, because that shows you how much the fans of Arsenal have gone ahead not to really fancy the goals of Saka, but to really reward the assists of Trossard. And that is something that every fan should be rewarding about. You know, scoring goals are easy, you know, provided you're having a person who's going to put you those assists. I remember in the game of Fulham, would have even gotten himself 6 assists on the day, because he released Martinelli twice, and Martinelli never scored. And then Granit Xhaka, he gave him a very good ball, and Xhaka really just fell down and never really put that ball in the back of the net. So he did justice to his passes in the previous 2 games. Obviously, the one against Crystal Palace and the one against Leeds. I think is the one who releases Granit Xhaka in all of those games that he scores the 3rd goal for Arsenal. No, I think in the game of Leeds he released Jesus. That's it. He released Jesus. So that is Trossard, and I really like it when people who are real playmakers are really appreciated, because they are rarely appreciated. That's it. Playmakers are rarely appreciated, but Leandro Trossard has gone ahead to win the Arsenal Player of the Month award of March, beating Bukayo Saka, who scored in the game of Everton. He scored a brace against Crystal Palace. Which other game did he score in? You know, he scored close to very many. I think he scored close to 5 goals. And it's funny enough that the Premier League gave it to Bukayo Saka and they never gave it to Trossard. And I think if I'm to rank Saka, Trossard and Martinelli in the month of March, I think Trossard comes first, Martinelli comes second, and Bukayo Saka comes third. But I was so much shocked that the Premier League really gave it to Bukayo Saka, yet Trossard put up 5 assists in the entire month. And I think these are things that are really rare to really put up in such games. And I think if a player really pulls out such statistics of assists in a single month, I think he deserves to really take on what we call the award of the month. I think what Trossard learns out from Bukayo Saka beating him at the Premier League Award of the Month of March is to score goals. You know, assists are good, but goals make a lot of noise when you really go ahead and really score them. After that, let's go to the other man that really saved Arsenal in the game of Bournemouth, that is Reiss Nelson, creating an assist for the equalizer that Ben White scored, and then he scored a winner into the dying minutes of the extra time. Fabrizio Romano told us that I understand negotiations are currently underway between Arsenal and Reiss Nelson's representatives for a contract extension. Current deal expires in June. Arteta would be happy to keep Reiss Nelson, while more European clubs are showing interest in potential transfer of the player, in the potential free transfer of the player. Now, to me, I know Reiss Nelson loves Arsenal. He's a homegrown player at Arsenal, but are you going to get enough playing time at Arsenal? That is it. You know, to me, I think Arsenal are doing this because they don't want to lose money. They don't want to really lose him on a free. And I think Mikel Arteta is going to find himself in a situation of really giving him some games to really keep him at the club, because the promises that Arteta is going to make to his player is you are going to get enough playing time. But where is he going to get enough playing time? When in the position he plays, that is the left attacking side of the midfield, there is an overdose. There is Trossard, there is Martinelli, there is Emily Smith-Rowe, and I think his fourth fiddle. So maybe he will be telling him that next season we are going to be playing in 4 tournaments, and I think you'll be having playing time at Arsenal. If at all he sells him that idea, because the boy really loves to be at Arsenal, I think he'll buy it. And I think Reiss Nelson doesn't want to betray Arsenal and leave on a free, because he's a hell-end graduate. He wants to take part into the memorable season of Arsenal, because just winning the league with Arsenal is enough to keep him at the club. According to me, it will keep him at the club for a very, very long time, because he believes in Arsenal and wants to win it with Arsenal. Though, if I'm his agent, I tell him, don't renew that contract. Don't renew it unless you put out a buyout clause that if at all I'm not really played and I don't feature well, you sell me out. But if at all Arsenal really succeed in getting him to put pen to paper, I think it will be something great for Arsenal. Why? They would have gotten a player whom they can sell at £20 million. You know, he's 23, 24 years of age. That is Reiss Nelson, and I think Arsenal can collect some good amount of money from the player. That's it. But obviously, Arteta and the board don't want to lose other players on a free, like how even Nketiah was going to leave on a free. If Nketiah never really went down and scored 7 goals in the last 5 games of Arsenal last season, I think Arsenal were nowhere near rewarding him a new contract. But after him scoring a brace against Chelsea, Arteta came out and said into the press conference that I'm really sorry that I never gave Nketiah enough playing time. I admit I've been unfaithful to him as far as giving him game time is concerned, but I was going to hate to prove to us that he's really a very good player. And I think he redeemed his stay at Arsenal in that way. But for a player known as Reiss Nelson, I don't see him really getting enough playing time. But Carling Cup, FA Cup, he'll get the playing time he wants. Champions League, I don't see Mikel Arteta giving him chances in the Champions League, because Arsenal will be really up and running. And if at all Emily Smith-Rowe maintains his fitness levels, it's going to be hard for Reiss Nelson to get enough playing time. I don't know, you the viewers of Rokani Media Football, whether you see where this lad is going to be getting enough playing time. I don't see it. Whether you see it or not, tell me into the comment section below. But I don't see him really getting ample playing time at Arsenal. And at that age, all you need is to be playing game in, game out. Maybe Arsenal might be planning to loan him like they did the previous season, because he played for Feyenoord and they played into the cup final of the UEFA conference, and they were beaten by Jose Mourinho's AS Roma by 1-0. But he really had a very good spell at Feyenoord. So, you know, he's even lucky, and even Arsenal is lucky for not losing out on this player. Do you know why? Arsenal were planning to loan him, but he got an injury. That's it. And even the season when he was loaned to Feyenoord, was supposed to be Amad Diallo to go all out and play for Feyenoord, but Amad Diallo got an injury and obviously found himself playing for a side known as Rangers. And then Reiss Nelson went to Feyenoord and he featured there very well, but Arsenal really trying out their level best to see to it that they tie him on a long contract. And I believe it's going to be a 4-year contract. That's it. Then Roy Keane, the former captain of Manchester United, he lifted very many Premier League trophies and the Champions League for Manchester United, has gone ahead and really revealed to us his title hopes for Arsenal. And it's really so much annoying for a player like Roy Keane to come out and really give Arsenal the title, because by the time he played for Manchester United, there was a very big beef between United and Arsenal. By that time, the rivalry was really huge, because United and Arsenal was the biggest game by then. I think next season it's really going to take that node again. Why? I believe Manchester United will have strengthened to the levels of really giving Arsenal a chase for the title. But this season looks like it's for Arsenal to lift it. Now, Roy Keane was on the overlap hosted by Gary Neville. This is what he had to say. They are in a great position. Wouldn't have thought that at the start of the season, but they've been brilliant. A lot of young players have been very consistent. They can just focus on the league. They're definitely favorites for the title. So Roy Keane is saying that Arsenal are favorites for the title. He's not the first one. He concluded and said, I don't think they'll do it. I still have to fancy City, but Arsenal have got themselves in a great position. That's Roy Keane for you. And you know, he's a captain. He was in the dressing room when United was winning trophies. He knows the attitude of players who really win trophies and on how they behave on the field of play. So he knows that the way Arsenal players are behaving on the field of play, it's just sending one message that we want to be champions. They're having 9 games to go. They are playing Liverpool on Sunday. That's another huge one that we need to really put an eye onto, and is really hinting on Arsenal being the favorites. He's also hinting on City, and he's saying that City is fast by him, but obviously Arsenal are in a great position because they are 5 points ahead of City. Right now they are 8, and City have a game in hand. And they are also going to be having another game in hand when Arsenal is playing Southampton, because Man City will be playing Sheffield Wednesday in Wembley. So it shows you that Arsenal are really blessed, and everything looks like it's working in line of Arsenal to find itself in a position of really lifting the league of the Premier League. So guys, thank you very much for watching in through. I think you've enjoyed today. United is now 19 points behind Arsenal. Arsenal have played one more game than United. So let's wait and see how the weekend really goes through, because United is really starting off the weekend with Everton at Old Trafford. City will come in through with City is going to play which team? Southampton. I think very many Arsenal fans will be watching that game, because City is going to be playing away at Southampton. Southampton is in relegation zone. They are playing away from home. So it looks like Man City is going to be really so much in need of Erling Haaland to come back. But Julian Alves looked better into that team of Man City as they beat Liverpool by 4-1. So guys, your reactions to Trossard Rewarded winning the Arsenal player for the month of March are welcome in the comment section below. Reiss Nelson contract, would you advise him to put pen on paper or not? Because I think he's not going to have ample playing time at Arsenal. Your thoughts onto that are welcome in the comment section below. And lastly, your thoughts on Roy Keane coming out and really giving Arsenal a nod to being favorites of the league of the Premier League. So guys, I sign out for now. See you later. May the Almighty God bless you abundantly, and for my Muslim friends, Ramadan Kareem. Not so, I've got that word right again. So good night, my mates, and good morning.